21 secrets you probably didn't know about Jujutsu Kaisen. The last one will blow your mind. Did you know that the room that Gojo locks Yuji in has no door? So how the hell do they get in if there's no door to open, right? Well, this is thanks to Gojo's ability to use Infinity, which allows him to teleport from one place to another. As we're already talking about Yuji, did you know that he's actually not human? Even before swallowing Sukuna's fingers, we get to see Itadori toss a whole ass steel ball into the air, breaking a record and some teachers' balls. The reason behind this is because Itadori is actually half human, half curse, similar to Choso and his brothers in Season 2. This is because they had three parents: the mother, the cursed spirit that impregnated her named Kenjaku, and the father. Nothing gives off more Sweet Home Alabama vibes than this scene here. This also explains why Choso had a dream of Itadori having tea with his brothers. This would make up quite an interesting episode of the Mori show, huh? Anyways, unlike other Jujutsu sorcerers, Megumi is very much attached to his cursed spirits, which is why we see him in more pain when they get hurt or killed during his battles. If it were up to Megumi, he would rather save his cursed spirits than humans. We wish someone cared about us as much as Megumi cared about his cursed spirits. Now that we've touched the topic of Megumi, did you know? Itadori Yuji wasn't actually supposed to be the main character. It was supposed to be Megumi. I mean, look at the guy. He looks like a cooler version of Sasuke Uchiha. I shall come back and avenge my clan. Anyways, the writer of JJK had initially planned to have Itadori killed in the first season when Sukuna pulled out his heart. But when the manga hit sky high and fans showed a deep love for Yuji, the writer pretty much had to change the storyline. No wonder Sukuna saw potential in Megumi and delayed Yuji's death, so that he could get to see Megumi's true abilities. Speaking of changing the storylines, Nanami was also initially planned to be the villain in JJK, who would later become a sorcerer and aid Itadori. However, Gege Akutami decided otherwise and thought that some scenes required a handsome blonde guy named Nanami who jumped into the rescue when needed. So here we are. If Nanami existed in the real world, I'd be all oiled up for him. Gege Akutami has a lot of secrets in his bag, but the biggest secret is, who is Gege Akutami? Till today, we still don't know if Gege Akutami is his real name, nor do we know what his gender is. It's a boy, it's a girl, it's Gege Akutami. The writer of JJK has always represented himself using a one-eyed cat avatar, and the only time he did show up was on live television, where he came in full Mechamaru cosplay. They really seem to be taking the character cosplay thing a bit too seriously. Now, we do know that Megumi was supposed to be the star of the show, but did you know? It wasn't just supposed to be Megumi. Yuta was also destined to take the manga to the next level, since he was the first character drawn by Gege along with Rika, his lover. But the manga was deemed too dark, and Yuta also didn't get the love that the writer had envisioned him to get, which as a result forced our one-eyed writer to change the story to be more child-friendly. It sure as hell became child-friendly. But that is nowhere near child-friendly when we look into Gojo Satoru's domain expansion abilities, which go way beyond any of his students. He can cast domain expansions multiple times a day, while others can do only one. So far, only 4 Jujutsu sorcerers are on a special level, mainly Gojo Satoru, Takahiro Sakurai, Yuta Okatsu, and Yuki Tsukumo. Some will call these 4 the class favorites, but not me. I call this a simple fact of skill issue. This isn't the only reason Gojo Satoru is special. Like, did you know? Gojo is a massive fan of Digimon, and even casually references them whenever he can in the manga series. He also has a pretty wacky Gundam collection. We called such kids nerds back in high school, but boy did this nerd take the hearts of millions. What's even wackier is that Todo, apart from his frequent shirt tearing off during battles and getting all wounded in them, he tends to take his hygiene pretty seriously. We assume this is because he believes he might encounter his lover Takada-chan in a battle or something. Talk about blind love! Love can make a man do crazy things, and this brings us to the fact that Mahito is actually My Hero Academia writer Kohei Korikosho's favorite character. God only knows why though. And if God is hearing our prayers, we hope someone would tell in the comments why. Mahito is a literal lunatic. That guy has zero sense of reasoning and goes around turning people into his slaves. Building on that prayer, Mahito's favorite show is actually Phineas and Ferb. The only thing Mahito ever built in his life was to transfigure humans and use them for his own selfish reasons. If only we could have been the ones to eat Sukuna's fingers and not see this day. Speaking of eating fingers, Sukuna's fingers taste like soap, which make them relatively much easier to digest than devil fruits. I would pass you on that offer since there's no promise that we would actually end up like Yuji Itadori. The idea of even hitting a finger that ugly would literally make me want to throw up. But what won't make me throw up is the real story behind Sukuna and how this urban legend gave rise to this masterpiece of an anime. Like I said, I'm not gonna throw up just yet. Just stick a teeny bit longer and you'll find out. You probably want to throw me in a cage of curses right now, but quite literally, Toji Fushiguro at a young age will be thrown in a cage filled with wild curses. Then multiple scars on his body and lips are a result of that, and not because of women. Pun intended. My man has been balling single his whole life. But jokes aside, Toji really scared the peanuts out of me when we saw him beat the hell out of Gojo. For those calling me a spoiler for this, I regret nothing. The characters bawling more than Toji are Yuji, Gojo, Megami, and Nobara, who each have their own theme songs, which is very similar to One Piece. God, I could literally picture myself being the main character and saving my crush from a school fire. Wait, did I just reveal every boy's deepest and darkest desire? Fuck! She may have her own theme song, but Nobara is a big fan of shopping. Sadly, she was unable to do any ever since she came to join Jujutsu Kaisen Academy. Don't worry, girl, I'll get you that Gucci purse. No wonder why we missed this important detail. The characters in JJK would wear clothing that represents their personalities, backgrounds, and even their abilities. Like Megami's Haori bears, the symbol of his clan. Yuji's Sukajan jacket represents his connection to his dead grandfather. Wait, maybe saying dead was taking this a bit too far. But no character went as far as Nobara, who wasn't supposed to be a character at all in Gege's original plan. She was added after editors requested him to add her and make this into a trio group. This is given some serious Naruto vibes. Luckily, she doesn't have a whole-ass football field of a forehead like Sakura, or is a third wheel like her too. You may have noticed Sakura's forehead, but did you notice this tiny detail in Season 1, Episode 1? Where when Yuji kicks the demon's eye and makes it bleed, it's not just blood pouring out, but also curse words. This gives us the idea that these cursed spirits are formed by cursed words by the curse user. And when the curse is killed, the air is filled with curse words as well. But what if a cursed spirit is inside of you? When Yuji eats Sukuna's finger, the black part in his eye shows a person residing inside of him. This is a very smart way to tell that there's another person or spirit inside Yuji's body and has some type of control over his mind. We now come to the most anticipated question. Where did the idea of Sukuna originate from? Well, it originated in 2005, where an unknown guy posted on the 2chan thread explaining how the company he was working for was involved in demolishing an old temple in Iwate Prefecture, which was also where Akutami was born. There they found a 2-meter box which was very old and had a seal, along with a piece of paper that read, Taisho, year, July, with Juho, Ryomen Sukuna is sealed. Instead of opening the box, they decided to call the head priest. However, that night, 2 workers thought it was funny to open the box at night, but sadly, the next morning, they were found not in their senses. Upon checking the inside of the box, they found a mummy with 2 heads attached like conjoined twins, 4 arms and legs. When the priest did come, he shouted at everyone and said that they were now doomed. He did take the box away after, trying his best to exorcise the workers. But as time went by, all those involved in the incident slowly lost their lives in mysterious ways. Whereas the priest, he was never heard of since then. If you wish to find out more details about this urban legend, then don't be shy to watch our next video, 21 Secrets You Didn't Know About Ryomen Sukuna. We did, however, miss out a very important detail, and that is Ineto Kodoku, which is an urban legend that says, like and subscribe, so don't forget to do that. Also, let us know which anime you would like to see covered in the future. See you in the next video.